Hello again. Taking a walk, another blog. I know I've been doing those the videos on BandLab, but just wanted to come out here and tell you what I was up to and tell you what I'm going to be doing. So I wanted to get into why I'm returning back to the Apple ecosystem. First off, I used to have all the Apple stuff. I think the only thing I didn't have at the time was the HomePod. And at the time, I didn't think that was something I could use. Now I'm starting to believe maybe I can. I don't like the way my Apple TV does podcasts. It's a little clunky, so I could probably get the HomePod Mini and sync it with my phone, and it'll work a lot better. But what happened was the whole right to repair thing, and Apple's not really for it. And I was really deep into the Apple ecosystem. I basically used Apple apps or apps that were only on Apple. And I'm like, man, I need to diversify my apps. So I was trying to use apps that you could use outside Apple that were on Android or on Windows. And the problem was Apple kind of prioritizes its own apps. I don't know how it is now. So all those things coming together, I kind of just got, I used to watch Louis Rossman and all those horror stories of they took their Mac to the Mac store, and all of a sudden, they said, oh, it's going to cost all this money to replace all this stuff. And then he looks at it and it's like a bent pin on the board, and it was it took him about a couple minutes to fix. It's just so all that together got me to where I got to get out of this little club, and so I said I'm gonna start switching over. So I got Windows on Boot Camp, and I started using it because I used to use, I play World of Warcraft, and at one point I built my own PC, and I had gaming PCs before, and I had a gaming laptop before, and so I used to, and the good thing about World of Warcraft was you could play it on Mac too, and it was when I switched between Boot Camp and the Mac version, they got about the same frame rate. So it seemed like it was optimized for Mac really well. So I was like, Windows, I like it. I can see myself switching to Windows, and I just got to go to Android. I tried twice before. I'd get a Samsung phone, and I just hate it, and I'd end up switching back within 6 months. So I'm like, well, first thing I got to do is get the phone, and then Windows seems to be fine, and then everything else would be downhill, and then I'll start switching over all my other stuff. So the first thing I did was I went and I was due for a new phone, so I traded in my iPhone 7 and my Apple Watch. They had some deal where you can get the Note 9 at the time, which was the phone, you get your trade-in for the phone and the watch plus $200 each. So I don't think I paid that much for the Note 9. I'm going, wow, this is really nice. I do notice that a lot of places, I don't know if Samsung is pushing their stuff, but everywhere I go, for example, when I got this phone, it was $700 trade-in from my Pixel to this, or a straight up trade for a Samsung. And I remember the second time I tried Android, I wanted to get a Motorola phone, and the guys, they were so pushy. Oh, no, you want Samsung, you want to get the Samsung. And I'm like, well, I want something more pure Android. And they're like, no, you want the Samsung. And it just it seems like, I don't know if the profit margin on Samsung is so high that they just push it, but that's basically what happened to me. I got the Samsung, and then Best Buy had a Black Friday sale, and I got the watch, the first Galaxy watch, and the Galaxy Buds. Then I ended up getting my gaming PC, my little gaming laptop, which is a Asus M15 or whatever, and it was on sale. And I think it was on sale because it was during the lockdowns, and it didn't have a webcam or a mic. And Nando was borrowing my iPad a lot for making band Instagram photos and all that stuff, so he was editing with the Apple Pencil. And so instead of just passing it back and forth, I decided to get a Galaxy Tab 6 to try out it was the 6 Lite, to try out the whole ecosystem. And there I was for a short while in this ecosystem, and I hated it. Like, and I think I was blaming mostly Samsung for that. So I hated all the bloatware on the Samsung, and I didn't like the extra features they gave. And I think in my mind, I wanted pure Android. I wanted the Pixel, you know. And all in this time anyway, I was having a hard time replacing my stock Apple apps. And I'd bounce between different reminders apps. I'd bounce between different note apps. I think the best one I had for Android was OneNote by Microsoft. And I really didn't find... Todoist is probably the best as well for reminders, but I was just not having a good time. And so I thought, okay, pure Android will be my salvation. So I was ready for a trade-in. I got a Pixel 5, and then I bought a Fossil Gen 5 watch, and that watch sucked. Like, literally, on the brightest setting, the screen was super dim. The battery lasted like half a day. It was really bad. Like, I don't know, you know. And I was having problems with the Galaxy Watch too, because if you had Spotify, if you tried to use the Spotify app on the watch to control Spotify, it caused the screen on Spotify to freeze, and you had to reboot your phone or some shit. Like, it was really bad. So I'm like, I'm going to pure Android, and it still sucks. And then on the Windows front, I really like Final Cut Pro, and I was hoping DaVinci Resolve could be a good replacement. It's a good one, but I wanted to do the paid version. But the paid version, you either got a dongle or a code card, and it was just like, okay, I'm gonna lose either of those, and then I'm out $300. And then on the recording front, I tried Studio One, and it's good, but it's there's just stuff I don't like about it. The music library isn't as good as Logic's. And I mean, I guess if I were to go back in time, I would have stuck with Reaper. That's the one I originally tried out, and then just got like Contact. Used the money I would have spent on Studio One on Contact, and I probably would have been better off. But hindsight's 2020. So here I was. Pixel was definitely an upgrade from Samsung, but I still couldn't find the apps I wanted, and the watch sucked. And I was going to replace my Samsung Buds with the Pixel Buds, but if the watch was that bad, I didn't even want to think about it. And then Uplooming was supposed to be this joint venture between Samsung and Google to make a new Wear OS, but neither of them made a decent OS yet. So it's just like, I don't know. All of a sudden, a few times, I really could have benefited from having an iPhone. People were asking if I had FaceTime to FaceTime them something, and I'm like, no, I got a Pixel. Someone filmed some videos at our gig, and they tried to send the videos to me, but because I had a Pixel, they're all tiny. And then when I tried to load them into the computer, the audio was all garbled. So I was just unhappy. And all of a sudden, I snapped. Okay, I didn't snap, but I was definitely compulsive. Basically, I had a gig that day. I woke up that morning and I said, it'd be better if I had an iPhone. It would, if someone filmed it, they can send me the clips. It'd be a lot better. And, I miss my apps. And when I use my Mac, I like it just as much as my Windows, minus the games. And so I saw they had a trade-in, $700 for the 12 Pro Max, which I'm filming with right now, and it's very heavy. Compared to my Pixel, it is very heavy. And so I went over there and I traded it in. And then I said, you know what? I have this shitty Google Watch, and I paid for the Best Buy insurance on it, the Geek Squad. So I went over to Best Buy and I said, hey, this thing doesn't hold charge. It sucks. And they let me trade it in, and I got an Apple Watch with the trade-in. And then I left my AirPods over at Nando's so we could monitor our recordings, but I went back over there and I said, here, have these Samsung buds. I need my AirPods back, and I got my AirPods back. And then if you notice on the last video where I had to rush because I'm like, well, I got to get rid of this Galaxy Tab 6 Lite. It was because I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me trade you the iPad, and the Samsung's just as good for the art as the iPad. You can do the art for the Instagram and all that other stuff. And he's like, okay. So, and I'm like, yeah, it's better because you have a Samsung phone, so it'll all kind of connect. So I basically am back fully in the ecosystem, minus the computer. And so I have my old iMac at the rehearsal space, which that's where it's going to stay. I'm using the PC right now. My laptop's only like a year old, maybe a little over a year old, and it's like I feel bad like paying for that much for it, and then it's just like just using it for a game, like an overpriced Switch, so I might get an extra desk, like a little mini desk for it. And then that way, like CPG Grey had a video about having different stations, and when you're trapped inside your, like, it was for the lockdown, so it was like, that way you don't go crazy. And the fact that I game and that I do everything on my computer, I feel puts me on a certain mindset where I don't get as much, oops, there's my hand. I don't get as much done as I want to. So what I want to do is have a different station for my laptop. So that'd be like my gaming station or my PlayStation. And then when I have my Mac at my regular desk, that's for editing and music and stuff. So that way I can kind of not lag around all day, which I tend to do. So anyway, next week I have a couple videos already have filmed. I just got to edit them. So I'll have those up, and then after that, hopefully, I think I'm going to start on the EP, because I don't think it's a good idea to get in the middle of an album and then want to switch over to a different DAW or DAW, as I've said in the past. So anyway, have a good one.